Would you pass? Mastering questions with would in passive voice. Hello, language learners. Welcome to today's session where we are going to make your English language skills even more refined. Today's topic is an interesting one. Creating questions with would in passive voice. Mastering this will make your English sound more natural and fluent. So, let's dive right into it. Before we delve into using would in passive voice, let's quickly recap what passive voice is. Usually, we use the active voice in English. This means the subject of the sentence performs the action. For example, John ate the apple. In the passive voice, the subject of the sentence receives the action. The apple was eaten by John. The focus here is more on the action and less on who performed it. Now let's introduce would into the mix. When used in passive voice, would helps us express hypothetical, imaginary situations, or polite requests. The general formula is subject plus would plus be plus past participle. For example, the letter would be sent by her. Creating questions using would in the passive voice isn't as tricky as it may sound. The pattern is simple. Instead of starting with the subject, we start with would, followed by the subject and then be, and the past participle. For example, would the letter be sent by her? This pattern is ideal for hypothetical questions or polite inquiries. Just like with active voice, we can create negative statements and questions with would in the passive voice. For negatives, we simply insert not after would. Example, the cake would not be baked by him. And for questions, we invert would and the subject. Example, would the cake not be baked by him? Learning is most effective when we apply it. So let's try forming a few questions with would in the passive voice. Here are some for you. 1. The meeting would be attended by the manager. Turn this into a question. 2. The car would be fixed by the mechanic. Turn this into a question. Remember to follow the formula. Would plus subject plus be plus past participle. And there you have it, folks. You now know how to create questions with would in the passive voice. Remember, practice is key. The more you practice, the more natural it will become. We hope this video has been informative and useful. Stay tuned for more English language learning content. Happy learning!